This is Cesena Nuevo, a virtual ghost town 40 kilometers from Madrid. Over 13,000 apartments were built, of which only 4,000 are occupied.
Well, knowing what I know today, I wouldn't have come here. When I did, I thought it would be a good investment. These flats were a lot cheaper than others in the area around Madrid.
The mayor of the nearby town of Cesena believes big developers and lax banks are to blame for recklessly funding building projects.
No se estaban construyendo las viviendas que necesitaban los vecinos del municipio ni los vecinos de la Comunidad de Madrid, sino que lo que se estaba haciendo era especular con las viviendas porque hubo muchos inversores que compraron hasta torres enteras para luego revenderlas.
It's symptomatic of the hangover from the construction boom across Spain, one which ironically leaves houses empty while young potential buyers are unable to purchase, as credit has now all but dried up.
There is a permanent and need of houses because people, young people need to rent, need to buy, but they can't buy now because there is no credit at all. We need a policy directed to solve these houses, but the houses are part of the balance sheet of the banks.
The situation also looks set to worsen. Spain's growth is anemic at around 1%, and with huge quantities of surplus stocks, buyers will become even scarcer. There are now 1 million unsold homes across Spain, putting a drag on not just the Spanish economy, but others across the EU.
Houses are still not in the price that they should be. I would say that houses have to go down still, and that would be a real problem for the Spanish banking sector and for the banking sector in other places in the European Union, because French banks and German banks and British banks have stocks of Spanish houses that are unsold and probably are unsellable, and I think that's the problem in the next few years.
It's not just houses standing empty. This holiday resort at Jafra near Barcelona is almost complete but abandoned, a sign of how the tourism industry has suffered. In 2009, visitor numbers dropped by 10% and revenue by 11%. Things do now seem to be picking up. Tourist arrivals grew by 3% for the first quarter, with travellers returning from the rest of Europe.
I like here the strand and the sun, the ocean. It's hot here and not so cold.
But the industry is changing. With the rise of cheap air travel, European tourists are looking further afield. Spain cannot continue to compete on beaches and sun alone.
We were trusting for too long the classical sun and beach tourism. For a while it was okay, it seemed a good idea, but in the last 10 or 15 years it didn't work. It didn't work because there were other destinies where people were, especially I'm thinking about Turkey, I'm thinking about Egypt, I'm thinking about Tunisia especially, and we were losing those tourists.
Spain has benefited from tourists drifting back after unrest in these countries, and also has another benefit, having heritage on its side.
It's look for the beach, it's look for the sun, but not only this. They are also look a lot for the culture, to see the museum in Barcelona, the offer we have here in Girona, all the area of Girona, also the gastronomy, and especially the shopping.
But tourists are spending less, and cultural trips tend to be shorter, with travellers visiting Spain for a short weekend trip instead of staying for 2 weeks. John Teasdale is a British expat who runs a bar. He says that with the slowdown, hotels are offering comprehensive packages, including meals and drinks, and that's hitting his business.
If the hotels are giving everything free, they don't want to come out to the local bars and pay for it. In fact, it's had a worse effect because the bars that try to attract them in are offering 2 for 1 or trying to reduce the prices, which is killing the businesses off.
Tourism remains a vital part of the Spanish economy, employing 2 million people and bringing in over $50 billion every year. But there are those that question Spain's over-reliance on foreign visitors.
we cannot live on tourism only. I mean, we would be a very backwards country if our growth would come only from tourism. We have other sectors that are good, especially I would say design and then clothes and things like that. We have a small IT sector, we have a small chemistry sector as well.
So one result of this downturn might be a rebalancing of the economy, with Spain playing to its other strengths, not least the resilience of its people. Even immigrants working in the beleaguered tourism sector wouldn't live or work anywhere else.
It's a lovely place. It's a lovely place to live. As I say, the people are kind and helpful. And, you know, the sun, the weather, it's just perfect over here. I can't think of anywhere better on earth to live, to be honest.